guys, welcome to tonight's video, which I'm very excited about because I get to combine two of my favorite things. One, Disney, and two, the paranormal. If you didn't know, I am a huge Disney fan. We live in California, so I go to Disneyland a lot. When we go on vacations, a lot of times we go on Disney cruises, and I don't know, I just love going to Disney. It's my happy place, it puts me in a good mood. Love it. And the thing that makes me love it even more is that it has a dark side to it, and it's supposed to be pretty haunted. There are a few locations throughout the park that are said to be haunted and have some ghost stories to go along with it. So tonight I want to tell you about those locations within the park that are haunted. I want to tell you what activity occurs there and maybe who's haunting it. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know really quick that more investigations are coming soon. Through the winter, it was kind of like a dead season for me and investigating. It's the holidays, it's, you know, like money runs low during the holiday season. But now that we are into 2019, I have some places booked, ready to go. The beginning of March, I am going to North Carolina and I'm teaming up with Joey Adventures and The Strangest, and we are going to investigate Bellamy Mansion. And then after that, Joey and I are going to go investigate the USS North Carolina, which should be really, really cool. I've never investigated a battleship before. I'm also teaming up with Cryptid Hunter finally to do an investigation with him, which should be awesome. I've been wanting to get together and do something with him for a while, and we're just trying to get our schedules together and make it work, and I think it's finally gonna happen, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm also going to be returning to the Queen Mary to do an investigation with Caitlin Jane. So very, very exciting stuff coming in the future. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss those investigations. If you want, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I usually post like in the moment type stuff on there, so any pictures from the location I'm at, or sometimes I'll go live on Instagram stories. And Twitter is just the best place to keep up to date with what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what's going on. Now that all that's been said, let's dive into the dark and paranormal side of Disney. So the first haunted place I want to tell you about is the Gallery, which is located above the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That area above the ride has been said to have some strange activity. Workers have reported that after the park closes or in the early morning, they see a figure of a tall man walking around in the gallery. Now, some people believe that this is the spirit of Walt Disney himself, and there's also been some guests that have said that they've seen the shadow walking in the windows as well. I would love to be at Disneyland and look up and see a shadow walk through the window. Although while I'm there, I probably would think it's a worker or something like that, but how many times do you think people have seen something like that and just passed it off as a worker up in the window when maybe it really is spirits? The next haunting also has to do with the Pirates of the Caribbean, but it has to do with the actual ride and not the area above it. The story goes that a little boy and his mom loved the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and unfortunately the boy developed cancer and died, and his last dying wish was for his ashes to be spread in the ride, in the water. Now, of course, Disney doesn't condone this and wouldn't let this happen in their park, but the mom snuck the ashes in and did it anyway. Or at least the story goes. Now, the scary thing about this and the activity that goes along with it is late at night while the ride is operating, sometimes the ride operators see a boy sitting in the boat through the security cameras, but when they go to check it out, there's no one there. What do you think? Do you think the boy's spirit is still there, riding the Pirates ride? The next haunted attraction in Disneyland that I want to tell you about is It's a Small World. Workers have reported that within this attraction, the lights will turn on and off by themselves, and the dolls will move when the power is off. Now that is creepy. If you've been on this ride, you know how creepy those little munchkin dolls are. I wish that I could get into Disney and do investigations within these attractions. Can you imagine how epic that would be? I don't think Disney's ever let paranormal investigators come in and investigate their park. But I can kind of see why. You're supposed to be a family-friendly park. I don't think that's the reputation they want. I don't think they want kids to be scared of ghosts within the rides. Next, we're gonna move over to Tom Sawyer's Island in the Rivers of America. Now, if you haven't been there, Tom Sawyer's Island is a little like, well, it's an island. You have to take a boat over to it, and the boat crosses the Rivers of America. Now, it said on one of the grad nights, 3 boys that weren't supposed to be jumped into the Rivers of America and drowned. And ever since then, their ghosts haunt Tom Sawyer's Island. People have said that they've seen shadows that look like teenage boys on the island when nobody's supposed to be on it, which is really spooky. But if I were at the park and I was looking at Tom Sawyer's Island and saw like a shadow walking, I would think that it was just like a maintenance worker or a crew or a staff member. But again, maybe it is a spirit. The next haunting is at the Matterhorn bobsleds, which is my least favorite ride in the park. It is so jerky. You get off of that thing and it feels like you have been run over by a train. Now, the rumor is that it is haunted by a woman named Dolly. While she was on the ride, somehow she fell out and onto the tracks, and the car coming behind hers hit her, ran her over, and now her ghost haunts the Matterhorn bobsleds. That is another one of those rides where it would be really creepy to be inside of it when everything is off and it's dark. It just, I don't know why, but you do, when I've been on Matterhorn bobsleds, you get kind of a weird feeling while you're on the ride, just a creepy vibe. So maybe that's coming from the ghost of Dolly. The last haunting we're going to talk about in Disneyland, of course, is the Haunted Mansion, the best ride there. Now, there are 3 ghosts that are said to haunt the Haunted Mansion. The first one is the spirit of an elderly man who died of a heart attack on the ride in 1970. The second is of an elderly woman who is said to have a nice sense of humor. And the third is said to be a nasty or mean spirit within the attic of the Haunted Mansion. Now, activity within the Haunted Mansion ranges to a variety of different things. Some people say that while they're holding onto the buggy's handrail, they can feel somebody touch the top of their hand, and when they look down, there's no hand touching them. Other people say that they can feel somebody touching their back while they're on the ride, and some people even report feeling like a hand brushes against their face while they're on the ride. Of course, there are the reports of seeing shadow figures, especially in the attic and the graveyard. A lot of times people say they see the shadow of an elderly man walking around within the grave in the attic of the Haunted Mansion. Remember that these are urban legends or stories, and we don't really know if there is any truth behind them, but there have been a lot of people that have had experiences, so maybe they are haunted. For those of you that have been to Disneyland, have you experienced anything unusual while on any of these rides? Have you seen any shadow figures within the park? I know there is a video, a surveillance video of the park, and it's looking down at the Haunted Mansion area, like the walkway by the Haunted Mansion, and you can see a shadow walking from the Haunted Mansion and around the corner. I'll play it now so that you guys can see what that looks like. So it's very interesting. You know, there's eyewitness reports. They have cameras showing different shadow figures or spirits kind of moving around the park. So who knows if it's haunted or not. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure and give it a like because it does help out our videos. If you're new, make sure and subscribe. You are not going to want to miss the investigations that I'm going on coming up soon. And I'll see you in my next video.